Applying a conditional format to your pivot table lets you emphasize certain aspects of your data using visual elements. If you want to format your pivot table with multiple conditional formats, you can, and you can control how and when they're applied. In this movie, I will show you techniques to manage how and when your conditional formats are applied. I will use the multiple sample file, which you can find in the Chapter 5 folder of your exercise files archive. The first thing you need to do is select the cells that contain the formats you want to work with. So I'll select cells B4 through B8, and then on the Home tab of the ribbon, click the Conditional Formatting button, and click Manage Rules. Doing so opens the Conditional Formatting Rules Manager dialog box. The first rule is the color scale that goes from white to yellow, lowest value to highest value. And the second rule is one that displays any cell's value below 175,000 in red text. And as you can see from cells B5 and B6, both rules are applied. If you're upgrading from Excel 2003 or an earlier version, then you've worked with a system that only allowed one conditional format to be applied at a time. Starting with 2007 and moving up to Excel 2013, you can have multiple conditional formats applied to specific cells. Now let's say that I want to change the order in which these rules are applied. To do that, I can click the rule that I want to move up or down. In this case, I'll move the cell value less than 175,000 rule. So I'll click it, and then along the button bar here, or the toolbar inside the Conditional Formatting Rules Manager dialog box, I can click Move Up or Move Down. In this case, the Move Down button is grayed out because there's no rule below the cell value less than 175,000 rule. But with that rule selected, I can click the Move Up button, and doing so moves it up in the order, so Excel will apply that rule first. And when I click OK, you can see that there's no change, and that's because the rules aren't in conflict. Excel applies the color scale to all of the cells that were selected, and it also applies red formatting to cells B5 and B6. Now if I select all the cells again and reopen the Conditional Formatting Rules Manager, I can choose to have Excel stop looking to see if conditional formats apply by checking a rule's Stop If True checkbox, which is over here on the right. So I'll do that for the first rule, which is the red text formatting rule. So what will happen now is that Excel will check to see if the cell value is less than 175,000. If it is, it will format that cell's text in red, and then it will stop. So if I did this correctly, it will not apply the graded color scale from white to yellow to cells B5 and B6. I'll go ahead and click OK, and click to the side, and you can see that cells B5 and B6 do not contain any yellow at all. Before, there was almost none in B5 and only a little bit in B6, and this time there's absolutely none. And that's how you use the tools in the Conditional Formatting Rules Manager dialog box to affect how and when individual rules are applied to your pivot table.